Man on bail for murder gunned down in St. Anne. A St. Anne man out on bail on murder charge was shot dead in St. Anne's Bay on Monday, marking the first homicide in the parish for 2024. The man has been identified as Dwayne Clark, otherwise called Zulu, 36, of Top Road in St. Anne's Bay. Clark was said to be a suspect in a 2020 murder in the parish. Reports reaching reporters are that Clark was walking along a section of the road in the parish capital when a car drove up and two men exited. The men fired several shots, hitting Clark multiple times. He was rushed to the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Clark's death is St. Anne's first murder since the start of 2024. In 2003, 79 murders were reported in St. Anne, which are 12 more than the 67 reported in 2022, a 17.9% increase. This was the second highest increase in murder figures by the parish for the year, after Hanover, which recorded 63.6% increase in murders, moving from 44 to 72. There were 1,393 murders in Jamaica in 2023. Made probe in Harbour View double murder. The Major Investigation Division is probing the shooting death of men in the community of Texaco in Harbour View, Kingston 17 on Sunday. The deceased have been identified as 32-year-old labourer Anthony Blake, otherwise called Nick, and 19-year-old Kevon Folder, otherwise called Timmy, both of the above-mentioned address. The police report are that about 12:30 p.m., residents heard explosions and alarmed them. Upon the arrival of the police, the body of Blake was seen on the ground with gunshot wounds to the upper body and head. A search of the area was done, and Folder was found lying along a section of the roadway with gunshot wounds to the upper body and head. Both men were transported to hospital where they were pronounced dead. Investigations continue. Independent MP George Wright takes action to temporarily fix roads in Hertford, Westmoreland. Following a demonstration by disgruntled residents and taxi operators over poor road conditions in Hertford, Westmoreland on Monday morning, Independent Member of Parliament George Wright took swift action to alleviate their frustration. Hours after the protest, Wright ordered a truckload of mall to fill the potholes, providing a temporary solution. Wright stated that his calls to the National Works Agency NWA had gone unanswered, leading him to take matters into his own hands. While the temporary fix addresses immediate concern, the NWA is expected to commence more extensive work in the coming weeks. Earlier in the day, Janet Ricketts, NWA's Communication Relations Officer, told reporters that the Hertford Main Road in Westmoreland is one of the corridors being given active consideration by the National Works Agency. We are now in the final stages of the procurement process, and we anticipate that in another couple of weeks, we will be able to make an award and also to commence the work along the particular stretch of roadway, Ricketts stated. Ricketts noted that the thoroughfare has a drainage issue. On Monday, residents blocked the road with downed trees, debris, garbage, old appliances, and vehicles to protest the deplorable road conditions. Trial date set for alleged human trafficker. A man who allegedly used social media to lure an 18-year-old girl into committing sexual acts for money will face trial on January 22nd in the St. James Circuit Court. The offenses were allegedly committed in 2017 while he posed as a talent scout for models. Karen Watson is charged with human trafficking and living on the earns of prostitution. Represented by attorney at law Donovan Collins, Watson appeared in the St. James Circuit Court on Monday before presiding court judge, Judge Bertram Morrison. Initially represented by attorney at law Henry McCurdy, Watson pleaded guilty to the charges in 2017. He later changed his plea and the case was moved to the trial list. The trial was scheduled to begin on Monday, but due to another ongoing trial, it was pushed back to January 22nd. Watson was remanded. The prosecution's case file revealed that in January 2017, Watson reportedly led the complainant into believing he was a talent scout and invited her to his home under the guise of offering her a modeling opportunity. He then allegedly held her there against her will and forced her to perform various sexual acts with different men for a fee, which he kept for himself. After the complainant was released, Watson reportedly threatened to blackmail her with videos on her performing various sexual acts. The incident was reported to the police and he was arrested in April of that year following a raid on his house. Watson was also charged with illegal possession of ammunition after a 9mm cartridge was discovered during the same raid. He pleaded guilty to the charge and was fined $30,000 or 3 months imprisonment by the St. James Circuit Court on May 15, 2019. Health Ministry says lab services continue despite work stoppage by employees. The Ministry of Health and Wellness says it is taking proactive steps to ensure that there is minimal interruption in the services provided by the National Public Health Laboratory and the National Blood Transfusion Services Blood Bank amidst an absence of workers. The employers have reportedly taken industrial action. The ministry says some categories of workers employed of both entities has been off the job. It says it is collaborating with private facilities and individuals, public hospitals with laboratory services, and the Jamaica Defence Force to carry out the functions in the meantime. The Health Ministry says while it has been advised of any industrial action by the staff, based on the advice of the manager, it has moved to mobilize resources to carry out emergency services. NHD wants contributors to phishing attack. National Housing Trust NHD contributors are being urged to be extra vigilant of attacks following reports of fraudulent emails claiming to be coming from the entity. According to a release on Monday, the fictitious communication instructs recipients to verify their information by clicking on a link or attachment to receive their NHD contributions refund. However, Assistant General Manager for Corporate Communications and Public Affairs at NHD, Dwayne Berwick, said that the email verification is not a method used by the trust in the refund process. If there is a challenge with your application, you will get a notification from the NHD asking you to make direct contact with us. The process does not involve responding to an email or clicking on any attachment or link, he said, while addressing a recent forum. The release revealed that multiple cases of falsified communication has been reported to the NHD since January 1, 2024, when the organization began accepting refund applications for contributions in 2016. Berbick said that this trend is not new and is urging contributors to protect their personal information so that it does not fall in the wrong hands and to guard against becoming victims of other cybercrimes. The NHD refund process is safe. These scams and schemes that we are seeing do not attack this process. They play on funds being available and individuals are collecting it, he pointed out. So if you have received any communication and you are in doubt, reach out to us for verification before you respond, he advised. The NHD has implemented several measures to communicate with and assist contributors in making their NHD refund application safely and securely. These include the mobile application that is available for download in Apple and Google Play stores, the NHD online portal that can be accessed online, and the entity's website, which can be found at www.nhd.gov.gm. Shows market vendors begin to get help after fire. 11 vendors affected by last October's fire at the shoes market in Montego Bay were on Monday presented with checks of $60,000 each. Minister of Labour and Social Security Pernell Charles promised that everyone affected by the blaze will eventually get support, and Prime Minister Andrew Holness urged vendors who have not yet submitted claims to do so. It's $30,000 for partial damage and $60,000 for complete damage. Although what we have seen is that it's complete damage that individuals have faced coming out of the fire, Charles Jr. said. We have 11 persons today who will receive a total of $60,000 each and expect that each person will get that amount or more based on the damage to their stalls. This is what he reported to journalists during the handover ceremony. He said going forward, others will be compensated in batches. He explained that the ministry has so far received 43 applications from displaced vendors, but they expect several more. What we have seen so far is that of 54 stalls that have been destroyed, more than 80 persons have been impacted, said Charles Jr. He added that Member of Parliament Harold Clark, Councillor Richard Vernon, and Montego Bay Mayor Leroy Williams had all appealed to his ministry to assist the affected vendors. An elated Sharika Calvert was among the batch that got their checks on Monday. I feel overwhelmed because I lost a lot. This cannot cover all my losses, but I give thanks because I didn't get them anything to put down, so I am grateful for what they have done for me, she said. She explained that before the fire she sold clothing, shoes, bags, children wear, among other items. She said the entire amount received would have pumped back into her business to get it up and running again. Fellow vendor Salom Joman was also thankful. I appreciate what they have done for me, although this cannot do much that I have lost, but I thank God because we never expected anything and we are grateful for what they have done for us, she said. At the end, we will do what we can with it, she added. Sarita Allen, who sold cellular phone accessories, saw all her stock go up in flames last year. She has tried to bounce back by crediting some items. She said the funds received Monday will help pay off for some of the debts. I feel so good that this check here, I have a bill up Kingston, and for a long time now, and thank you for this check. When my things burn up, I didn't really have any money, but God favored me, and I go and trust them, and see me get a little check here, she stated. Before the handover of the checks, Holness and the throng of local political representatives visited the facility and engaged with vendors. Travel restrictions lifted for businessman accused of forging Portia's signature. Businessman Peter Sanders, who is charged in relation to the forging of signature of former Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, was yesterday granted permission by Justice Dale Palmer to travel overseas. The application was made in the Home Circuit Court by Attorney at Law Hugh Wildman, who is representing Sangster. Sangster has been ordered to return to court on June 17 for a pre-trial hearing to ascertain if the prosecution has all the relevant documents to proceed with the case. Wildman has indicated that Sangster had been before the court for 6 years and the prosecution has never been ready. He said if the prosecution is not ready on the next occasion, he will be applying for a case to be thrown out for the abuse of process. The trial date is being set for September 23. Sangster, who is the managing director of the Jamas Communications Limited, was charged in March 2017 with obtaining money by false pretense, authoring forged documents, and forgery. It is being alleged that between January 2011 and August 2013, Sangster solicited and obtained over $600,000 from the chairman of the company and promised to provide a waiver for funds owed to the company to the Universal Service Fund USF. The Crown is alleging that in August 2013, Sangster presented the promised waiver allegedly signed by the then Prime Minister when the document was tendered by the company to the USF for it to be enacted. It was discovered that it was forgery. The matter was reported to MOCA, which launched an investigation into the matter. Sangster was subsequently arrested and charged. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.